Hello, everyone. It's me again, Jess. Today's episode will be a bit more calmly spoken because I realize I run out of breath very fast when I try to talk really loudly and try to cram every word into a sentence. So, today's topic will be how internet is quite bad for teens. It's not a good place for teens. That's actually, no, I have an original title for this. The internet isn't good for teens. There you go. Probably said it, but I'm not saying it in a way to be like, oh, the internet isn't allowed for teens. Teens shouldn't be on the internet, but there's many reasons why the internet's just not a good place. Not because of the bad people, not because of the topics that get discussed, but mostly how it kind of overwhelms teens and even children. My first experiences of the internet were quite limited. My mom was always watching what I was doing, and that means I mostly played. I didn't really play anything. I was playing like online little games, and from time to time I'd go on Habbo, but then pedophiles would like contact me, and my mom would see that, and she says, "Not going onto that website again until you're 13." Because I think I was like 12. And the minimal age is 13 or something. Like I say, where can I go on there again? It says the minimal age is 13, you're 12, you know? So it was like, if there was a minimal age on something, my mom definitely applied that on me. But it's not about the games. It's about how, in this day, whether you want to call me a fucking weird ass boomer, even though I'm not, kids are really spending too much time on the internet, and internet is not entertainment for kids. It's a market. It's where they make money off of those kids. They cater to their needs and make half-assed content that doesn't teach them anything, but does get the maker views and money. And you think, well, how is that wrong? These kids are enjoying it. Yeah, but they're not actively learning things. I'm not saying that everything that a kid should be doing is something where they should learn, but when you play outside, you also learn things. Like when I was playing outside as a kid, I learned the dangers of nature and that kind of stuff. And I wasn't bothered by internet pedophiles, didn't know what they were. I wasn't worrying about my image. I was just going about, and I learned like things that I saw in books as well. Like, you know, there was nature books, and then I could apply that to real life. And can you really apply what you see in TikToks to real life? And yeah, there's makeup hacks and cooking hacks, but that was not what I was busy with when I was what? I don't know how old these kids are even anymore to go on there. Last time I checked, I saw that there was this so-called TikTok star that was 15. And she's dancing, wearing revealing clothes. And I know some people are like, yeah, but that's her choice. Why are you sexualizing her? And I'm like, because I can see that she's actively trying to look older. So what the hell? Like, how can I, like, I'm sorry, maybe I'm prude, maybe I'm boring, maybe I'm a fucking introvert, if that's what you want to call me. You can make as many assumptions as you want to, but to keep it simple, I just have an opinion that even if they are not sexualizing themselves, which I believe half of the time is not even happening, the internet will. And that's the danger. These kids are just doing their thing, dancing, copying the dances from these online things, and they're going to get targeted with weird comments by weird people. And it's just not supposed to happen at that age, at any age, really, never. But it's definitely easier for these predators to, you know, hunt them per se. And I also think the amount of information that you can get from the internet is horrifying as a kid, because as a kid you believe almost everything, and I think it's the parents' what do you call it, responsibility, that what the kid is seeing, what the kid is being taught by the internet is not overwhelming, it's fitting for their age and fitting for their mental state. I sometimes do believe the people that say that depression comes from phones. It fucking does. Sorry, let me cough. No corona, don't worry. I just sometimes I cough out of nowhere. And same with other things. It's normal, don't worry. If y'all start coughing out of nowhere, it just might be a regular cold. But aside from that, what I was saying is I forgot. That sucks. Oh yeah, that you can control what your kid is seeing on the internet and what it's learning, because the depression on the phone set. That's what I was talking about. I used to be depressed for 3-4 years actually, and I kept going onto Instagram, and that was basically the only thing I really used. Instagram, and I was like, that was where my depression kind of got fed. Like if I felt sad, then that's where I would get my attention. If I felt upset, that's where I would rant, and I would put my feelings on full display. That's a very bad thing to do, because not everyone wants to hear your depression. That's going to make other people depressed. And it doesn't mean you don't have to talk to anyone about it, but talk to people who are ready to listen and can actually take it, because there's people who are in similar situations and hearing more depressing things won't help them. Just always ask. Second, there was a lot of information on there with no proof. Lots of memes, as always, that's important, but lots of lies, lots of bullshit, lots of fake. And when you start to live in that world, like, it kind of made me depressed. Like, I was constantly striving to be better and whatnot, and I was actually fat at the time, and I did lose weight. But that was actually after my depression was over, because that's when I could finally focus on that. Like, my depression didn't come from my body image. It was really all mental, if you're wondering. It was hard. Sorry for the smacking and stuff. Like, sometimes I swallow and take breaths, and then, like, I need to to start talking again. But it was definitely, if I look at it like that, it was a toxic place. You are starting to get really dependent on these likes, these comments. I'd make regular content, and even though I was just a little fan account for some girl band, like, hey, I still needed that attention. And it was very toxic. And I was on my phone a lot, like all day. And I was always watching other people. I was watching vlogs, whatnot, and things that weren't actually teaching me anything. And then I stopped. I deleted everything, like everything, and got back to basics. Reading books, playing on consoles with no online, or at least when I was playing them, there was no online. And since I don't really like multiplayer that much, go roast me. I just went back to that. I went back to those simpler things. And it helped. It helped a lot, because I think that when you have this mindset and you constantly see people like saying shit on it, like, social media, like, I'm feeling bad, I'm gonna commit suicide, I hate my life, you're gonna start believing that too. And I always find it funny when people say that, because they're such attention whores. Like, no shit. Get some fucking help if you're actually suffering. Social media is not your therapist. It's actually your biggest demon in that situation. And, like, with all the other information, like what I said, when you get a lot of information as a kid, when this is what you see on social media, you're gonna get scared of the future. At least I've seen some kids that are like, yeah, everyone's like on these social media, so many adults, and they're complaining about life, and they feel bad, and I'm always trying to help them, and they're suicidal. I'm like, you're literally 13. What are you doing? Why are you helping these people? Why don't you focus on yourself? You're still young. Why are you going to help depressed people? Like, I see so many teens, like, even on Discord. I'm in a server, right? And I don't want to say it's all minors, but it kind of is. There's a lot of minors. And all I see is, I'm depressed. I want to die. Like, little... you can put in like a custom, what is it called? A custom status. It's always something like, usually lyrics from depressing rap songs from X, or like, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with rap songs, but usually just depressing rap, like sad emo rap songs, and then, the little lyrics are written in there, and it's just, why? I often ask them, like, you're 12, 13, why? And they always say, yeah, life is so fucking hard. And I'm like, What? Listen, I got bullied at that age, and I think that can be hard. And I actually asked one of them, like, yeah, what's bothering you? Because if it's bullying, I'm always here to support people who've been through the same thing. She literally said, yeah, my friend, like, has unfriended me on social media, and, yeah, like, my mom took my phone away, and now I can't go and rant about it, and it upsets me. Like, I really want to die right now. And I'm like, really? Is this what the internet is doing to these young minds? It's just corrupting them. And I don't fucking care if I ever get a kid and it's going to tell me, you're abusing me. Why don't you give me all this social media? Why don't you give me the internet? I'll fucking tell that kid, listen, one day you're going to appreciate it. Because I sure as hell appreciated that I grew up in a somewhat poor family that couldn't afford the newest tech, that wasn't constantly on the internet, that had its limits, that was pushing me to go outside. Because even though later on I still got into that social media, I just didn't feel as attached to it as some people do. And I'm not even talking about it's bad for teens. It's starting to get bad for children too. How many times have I seen parents in a bus, in a train, looking at their kids? Oh God, they're being annoying. They're yelling. They're walking around. Let's give them the fucking iPad. Let's give them the fucking iPhone. Sorry, why do you have to literally show how bad of a parent you are? Do you think it's cool to flex with that you don't want to give your kids attention? And yeah, sometimes I get it. Kids are really hard to please. But even then, like, control what they are watching. Like, sometimes, you know, I know kids can be really annoying. And they'll keep bragging for that iPad, that iPhone, but I've literally experienced with this. Kids are on iPads and stuff, but the moment you want to do something with them, half of the time they're going to be like, sure, cool. Want to go play outside? Well, I don't know if, like, that's just from my own situation. Like, yo, want to go draw? Want to go, I don't know, just anything but that phone. Like, I'm sorry I'm bad at examples, but for me, the best solving of it is just drawing and playing with the little toys that kid may have, talking about their day, asking questions. And like, every time I see a kid on a phone and I'm like, they are 7, 8 years old, or even on YouTube, I'm like, where are their parents? What are they doing? I mean, I get it. You know, as a parent, you grow up and you don't think of the internet as scary as it is because you barely even saw that much of it. My mom got into internet like really badly and started reading fake news and Facebook around 4 years ago. And I see how it has affected her. But before, like, that doesn't mean she really understands what the internet is to someone like me, what it shows me. Because the internet is always showing all these young minds these wrong things, these things that they shouldn't be seeing at that age. That's why it's a market. These kids are influenced by what they see. They see colors, they see funny faces. They're like, yes, I love this. And it just bothers me. So this is a message to everyone, even people my age, 17, 18 years old, go the fuck outside. Get that phone the fuck away. And I mean, obviously now with the corona, you can't. So I'm sorry, that's a wrong thing of me to say, but pick up some things that don't need a screen. Pick up some skills that will actually help you in life and are fun. If creativity is not your thing and you're more of an athletic person, go do some push-ups, train your muscles, see how far you can go. If you like logical things and puzzles, why don't you try to see if you can pick up something technical and figure out some things? Wire up some stuff, do some soldering. Like, it's not that hard to put that phone away. And I always hate when people are like, I don't have passions, I don't have talents. Because you've been on that phone all damn day. You can't even discover your talents. Because the only talents you can think of is being pretty, getting enough likes, getting enough comments, not having anxiety, not being depressed all the time. Those are not talents. Those are parts of who you are. And they frankly shouldn't even be parts. Anxiety and depression shouldn't be in our lives. And it is. And it's not a trait either. It's not a talent, it's not a passion, nothing. Talents and passions are things like close to hobbies, but you can be really good in them. Like drawing, singing, running, goddamn hardware, software, programming, whatever. Knitting, sewing, embroidering, everything. Even cleaning could be your goddamn passion. And I see so many kids and teens being like, nah, I don't have that. I guess I can draw. And I'm like, why? I guess. Is it that you're getting discouraged from everything on Instagram that looks better than your drawings? Yeah, the longer you look at it, you're not going to get better. That's just my whole opinion. And for people who are still watching vlogs and going like, whoa, man, I wish my life was like that. Stop watching and get there. Start working for it. I believe in you. This is in no way a episode that wants to take down everyone who uses social media, because you can use it appropriately in small amounts and to also profit off of it. But you and your mind are capable of many things without that screen. And that's what I'm trying to say. You can find out what your talent and passion is. And it could also be on your phone. Don't get me wrong. If you're good with phones, then that's your talent too. But in the end, you are still a person. The internet does not define you. And no matter how much information you see, always check your sources. And sometimes you can't even trust the sources. Try believing in things. Try worrying about things that are actually close to you, that directly affect you, instead of things that will never even slightly affect you or affect you 0.0001%. Will make your life a lot better. Lots of love, and I hope to see you the next time.